Okay, so in other coding languages, it would be exclamation mark equals for not equals. In Visual Basic, it's the less than sign, greater than sign. So basically, if it's less than or greater than 0, therefore everything that is not 0. So if it is not 0, then, well, I guess I'll just redo everything. So div 1 dot equals whatever the random was. So let me just, I named it randomizer. Randomizer dot next 1 through 10. And then same thing for, is there 2? 1 through 10. So basically, I have, whoops, that's because I didn't name it randomizer, I named it randomize. So, it changes stuff, right? Basically, so if I get a situation where my modular division is anything other than 0, so if my answer is anything other than a whole number, I'm going to go and just throw in a new random number, change the numbers, just change it. Now here's the thing, this will only happen once, right? Because if it does this, then it'll do that and end. What happens if, but I don't want it to just end, right? What happens if these numbers, like let's say I originally started out with, a 3 and a 2. Well, that's going to give me modular division, that's going to give me something wrong. Okay, so then I'll get a 5 and a 2. Oh, well, it still gives me an odd number. It still gives me something wrong. It's still going to give me something. I can't just have this simply do this once and then end. What I need to do is I need to do something called recursive coding. And recursive coding is when a function calls itself. So what is the name of this guy? The name of this guy is check division. That's what I named it. I don't know, you can name it spatula for all I care. But, you're going to get mark points off for that because it's not a spatula, it checks the division. Name things what they do so that you make sense. But I'm just going to simply do check division CC. So, and so if it does, and then we'll check division again. So, now it's going to give me a new random number, and then go, hey, we're going to check this. So we're going to go back to here, check it. So, is it equal to 0? No. Okay, then give me a new random number, Now let's go back to here. Oh, what's here? Right here. Let me check those numbers for you. Are they equal to 0? No, they're still not equal to 0. Okay, new number. Okay, now let's go back up here to check them. Oh, hey, are they equal to 0? Oh, yes. Well, in that case, since they're not equal, then I guess we'll skip this all because, we're good since we equaled 0. So this will keep checking itself over and over and over again because it keeps calling itself. This is going to essentially be an endless loop until it gets the answer it wants, which is something that doesn't equal 0. Something that does equal 0, then it'll stop, because it'll skip all that. So if I were to play this, and play this, I got 5 divided by 5. However, let's do this again. I got 9 divided by 7. Obviously, something's not happening. What do you think it is? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it is, because it's all well and good that we have this function that calls itself. But what else calls the function? What first starts it? Nothing at this point in the code actually calls to it. Okay, that's the timer, start the quiz. So at the start of the quiz, we should probably call this and make sure check division, check division after we do the division so that we make sure we check it before we go on to the next step. So what's going to happen? It'll go, okay, randomize, oh, check it. And we go all the way down, skipping all this stuff to check it. Because remember, a code goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes in order until you tell it not to. So, oh, go here. Go to check division. And then when you do this, oh, check division will go and keep calling check division, check division, check division. It'll keep looping until you get to a part where, oh, it does equal 0, therefore we can skip this. And then it'll go right back to putting everything in the strings. So now, when we play this, we wind up with, oh look, there's 8 divided by 4. We can do that. And now let's do this again. Oh look, 2 divided by 2. We can do that. And let's do this again. Oh look, 5 divided by 5. We can do that. It will always give us something that we can answer, because we have made sure that it is always going to be a whole number by removing any results that could possibly give us a fraction or a decimal point. And thus we have ourselves our finished product that took 2 weeks to do. And in this week we did some modular division, we did some recursive coding, and we added these 3 other areas, which all had to have their own slight change of syntax based off the original. So, thank you very much. Save this all again and zip it again. Make a new zip folder. If you have to rename the folder or rename the file, save it as, whatever week this is instead of the previous week, and submit that through Moodle. You have now probably completed the biggest project in Visual Basic you will have to do in this class.